Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Jason from the Tone Lab, and today I'm working on some lyric videos for my band Playgrat. We just recently dropped a song, I Am the Science. I said the last video was my last one, but this one probably will be. But I want to go through the process of how we build these videos. Basically, what we do is, I produce the music, we have our band, we're in different states, and basically we record music, we wanted to put it out, so we use DistroKid for all of our online distribution, and it does all the streaming platforms, including YouTube. And with YouTube, it's like, well, you can put an image to it, so I decided to kind of start with lyric videos, and it kind of grew from there. And so now they're not very good, and so I'm not claiming to be very good at this, and this really isn't a tutorial by any stretch for experts. But if you're like me and you're artistic and creative and you want to put some imagery to your videos, you want to share it with the masses, this is how I'm doing it. Like I said, I'm not very good at it. They're very clunky, but I'm using Davinci Resolve, and I wound up using Davinci Resolve, Runway, Sora, and I think we use Pictory a lot. We use Pictory is like clip art, but clip videos. It's just kind of standard, and all of it's relatively cheap. It can get expensive but most of these things nowadays you can get with a subscription. And so depending on how good you want to make the video, it could be, you can make a video anywhere from, $60 to $600. It just depends on how intense you want to get it. But Runway is a great program because it does more than just asset creation. Well, it can color edit. It does a ton of stuff. When I do the green screen, like when I have the band, I'll cut out the musicians when we record ourselves. We'll green screen it. We do a bunch of different things. Most of that's in Runway, and then Sora, and then I think we use, is that it? It's Kyber. Yeah, we use Kyber a lot too. So yeah, Kyber, Sora, Runway, Davinci Resolve puts it all together for us, and you can get the free Davinci Resolve. Works really great. I think I used it for the first couple of videos. Something did make me buy it, and I can't remember why, but I wound up just buying it. But unlike a lot of these programs, like, people should take a page out of Davinci. Once you buy it, every update, they just give it to you, and that, my friends, is fantastic. And so I like the program a lot. I'm pretty green with it though, and so I'm not gonna lie, I use all of this, I use AI a ton. And so for those of you that have issues with AI or people using AI, I mean, like, I don't know what to tell you, because I'm using it. It's a tool available, and as a creative person, I just love it. And so usually, it's like, hey, AI, go read the Davinci Resolve user manual and create a manual for dummies just for me, and read it to me like I'm 10. And here we go. And so I'm clunking around in Davinci like I'm 10, but needless to say, so I'll get into this here. So I'll kind of shrink myself down a little bit. All right, so here we are in Davinci Resolve, and basically what I do is the first thing I'll do is take my audio WAV file, my master WAV file, and I'll drag it in. There's kind of a media pool, and as we create assets, for the good majority of it, Kim, who plays keyboards in the band and writes lyrics, she does a ton of stuff. She'll help me create a bunch of these assets to start. And so, don't show that image. And we'll just kind of go through the lyrics. And so this particular song, I Am the Science, is basically just about how science and technology are invading every aspect of human life, and good and bad. For every one bad thing, there's 10 good things that science and technology are bringing to our lives here in 2025. I'd say most of the world lives pretty dang good, whether they realize it or not. But we are what we'd call dystopian metal. And so the beginning is how science is messing with our food, with our crops, with farming, with seed production, with synthetic foods, even up to synthetic meat, the good and bad of that. And then the second verse is about how it's messing with our head, whether it's the algorithms, we're on our scrolling and we're kind of stuck in this digital footprint and this algorithm that kind of messes with our heads, or the medications we take. And, there's plenty of people that need medications, and I'm not, but I think the world in general, and definitely Americans, are way over medicated. And it's there's a lot of people out there that just can't deal and are taking all kind of different meds, and obviously there's side effects and there's a ton of that. So I dive into that a little bit, and then in the last verse we go into basically cloning and CRISPR. That's an acronym, CSRIPR, something like that. CRISPR technology, and just bioengineering and all of that. And if anybody's seen an old school movie from the 80s, John Carpenter's The Thing, I'm like a big fan of The Thing. And so basically my goal is to have all of these, as I talk about all these little science projects, it slowly will turn into this kind of monstrosity creature at the end. Maybe I'll have a little containment breach or some kind of scene there. Then I don't know, might not be good enough at doing this to achieve that goal, but we'll see. That is the goal. And we'll see if I can get my mentor AI to coach me up on how to do it. But basically that's where it's going. I have a few, I don't know what it is. I'm obsessed with spirals and wormholes. I feel like maybe I should stop doing that. It's been like the last 3 videos I've had a spiral, but I don't know. I like taking you down the wormhole, but we'll see. Yeah. And then eventually I go into like I guess I don't. Yeah, I don't want to show that part now. Well, anyways, so we'll start out, drag in my audio file. That's this big green one here. And it's literally just click and drag wherever you have that, click and drag it into the media pool. And then we'll usually get into, usually Kim will do this. She'll get into Runway, and we just start creating assets. And you can take a crack. I'm sure at this point a lot of people know how to prompt different assets and prompt AI to whether you're making images or videos. But say this one here, the full prompt is, this is a transition scene deep into the factory where the assembly process becomes more refined. A conveyor belt transport partially assembled robot human hybrids, their metallic limbs and synthetic components glistening under flickering industrial lights. Sparks fly as robotic arms meticulously attach biomechanical parts. Blah 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 blah. You get the point. And so we just go through, and a lot of times it will generate crap. And you pay for it. And that's a disappointing part. But considering how amazing some of these programs are, especially Runway, I guess that's just the price you pay. And I don't know what our success rate is, but it's probably 30%, 40% success rate. Yeah, it just depends. Like, and that's a new job these days, is a prompt engineer. And so, like I say, when you're using AI, it's all on how you talk to it. If you can, you want to talk to it like it's a person, really, and you want to just be on a text to video prompt. You want to, put on your director hat, and you want to talk about film, what type of film. Maybe do you want film grain? Do you want super high def 4K? Do you want the camera to pan left to right? Do you want to zoom in? And you just you got to fiddle with it for a while. But as you get better at prompting, your images will come out better. And then nowadays too, because we've been doing this for a few years now, and at the beginning it was rough. Like our first video for Little Plague in G minor, it's terrible. All of these videos are not great. I'm not claiming to be anybody special, but they're interesting. I like throwing images. If I'm going to have my music already streaming on YouTube, why not put some images and some lyrics? I take pride into trying to be very legible with what I'm saying, and so I'm super fine with putting the lyrics up and throwing imagery to it. This one here, let's see the full prompt, and my big head is in the way. So let's see. But if I pull up the prompt here, it says a sterile futuristic lab bathed in cool artificial light. Rows of glass chambers hold rich dark soil, pulsating faintly as if alive. Robotic arms inject glowing liquids, accelerating unseen growth beneath the surface. Inside transparent hydroponic pods, golden wheat sprouts unnaturally fast, roots suspend in nutrient-rich gel. Digital readouts flicker with complex data streams, and so on and so forth. And then we kind of tell it how to move the camera around a little bit. And that's what it gave us. And honestly, for the scene I'm about to use, it's perfect. It's exactly what I need. But for every good one, I get some bad ones out of it too. Some of them are just strange and odd, and you just got to play with it, and so it just depends on how much money you really want to throw at it. I'd say on average, probably each video right now is probably costing us, I don't know, a few $100 maybe. If you would have told me 30 years ago that I could do 1990 MTV videos for $200 a piece, I would have told you were crazy. So I'm actually having fun with it. I enjoy it quite a bit. So here we are back in Davinci. Usually I start every song with just kind of our Plague Rat logo. It's kind of the theme we do. I fade in. So if I press play on this, we'll get started through here. Let's see. Let me change the size of this. So yeah, we got the robot birth, my factory. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. And these are just images. It's like create me, all these different things. And slowly, when I get to the words, let me see if I can bring this down. Actually, I'm going to change the size of this a little bit. See where my lyrics are. Here's my lyrics. And so I just start adding, it's basically, in Davinci, everything's a video track pretty much, and you can layer the tracks. It's kind of like how I do audio, where you have layers of drums and guitars. Whatever's on top is on top, and this isn't really a DaVinci tutorial. There's a ton of those. There's some fantastic people out on YouTube doing DaVinci full, like hours of DaVinci tutorials. And between watching those tutorials and having AI fill in the rest, like, I'm good. So anyways, I add my text and I start rocking my lyrics. Oh, and then of course it's going to make me out to be a liar. Oh, I'm zoomed in too far. That's what happened. So here's my lyric boxes, and me personally, I just like the cadence to go right with it. So yeah, and that's just images I've created, or we've created. That really, Kim creates a good majority of these, and then I kind of tinker with them. That's what's fun with DaVinci as well, is that you can go in. Once I go in, I can do all kinds of After Effects and coloring, and the stuff with their audio is DaVinci is a great program. I can't say enough about it. But this one's cool. It's like grains of wheat, but it's got like a little QR code. These got like little barcodes attached to them, because this is like the soil. There's like kind of some little bolts of lightning and stuff going through there. I thought it was kind of cool. Oh, I spelled seed wrong. Seed is 2 E's. There's a screw up. So yeah, learn how to spell. If you're gonna do lyric videos, you should know how to spell. So that worked out great. And so you can see all my text boxes here. I just kind of go through one by one, and basically I just cut and paste each one and then just change out. Up here I can just kind of type in whatever my lyrics are. So again, track one is, audio track one is my WAV file, and then I don't have any other audio. It's just going along with the song. And then usually in the past I did this pretty clunky, and I had all these layers and stuff, and that's, as I'm learning, that's really not the way to use Davinci. You can kind of streamline it and just like create different stems and different things. And so I'll go back and I'll color this and I'll add a bunch of After Effects and different things. So this is really raw. So I'm comfortable sharing, because at the end of the day, I'm not great at it, and I'm definitely not a gatekeeper at it. And so anybody, you have any questions, or whether you want to give me some tips or you won't have any questions about it, like, feel free to hit me up. You can even DM me or whatever. I'm happy to share. Because I think it's cool, and a lot of music that I listen to, a lot of people are doing lyric videos. Like Opeth, for instance, has amazing lyric videos. By the way, go check them out. But these are just a fun way to put some images. And if you're saying something and you've got some thought behind it, most of the Playgrat songs all definitely have a theme, and they're kind of a painting in a way. So it's fun to put the images to it. But that's full AI though. Oh, that's where I'm at. So I was cutting and pasting, and that's where I'm at. So it's not Fields of Altered Grain. It's I am the dish. Should I separate that? I am the dish, the lab-grown meat, or should I fill it all in one deal? Let's see. The lab-grown meat. See how that looks. I am the dish. I left out lab. The dish, the lab. All right, let's that fits. So yeah, I'll just Control C, click over here, Control V, cut and paste. Let me say, I am the blood that tastes so sweet. Because really, who really wants to eat synthetic meat? I mean, I'd rather just not eat meat. And it's like, that was the thing, right? That was the holy grail. Like, oh, we know how to make it bleed now. And it's like, what? It's like, yeah, we inject it with this stuff called heme, H-E-E-M. And I remember reading this article just being grossed out. I'm like, where are you getting this? And it's like, of course, there's a bunch of conspiracies of where they're getting the fake blood, but basically what they say is it's beet juice. And so it's like, I was married to a vegetarian. I mean, my wife's an ex-vegetarian, and it's like, I'm not eating fake meat and fake blood. Like, rather just eat the meat, man. Like, holy cow. That seems to fit. That's it. So I'm just going to go through the entire song, add my lyrics to it, and use these different programs. And then there'll be times and I'll make another video maybe where I record the band and then I'll green screen them. And this one here, I'm definitely going to animate the band, because I want them to be cybernetic or whatever, some sort of weird alteration of where we may be going. But that's kind of the process of using Davinci. Again, it's just insert the music, create assets one by one. I'd like to just make these nice and easy, but I don't know, the lyrics are kind of interesting to me, and I think it's interesting putting the images to it. And so that's basically it. If you guys have any questions or comments, what do you think? You know, you want to tell me I'm a jackass for using AI, feel free to do that. If you got any questions or comments, you can always hit me up. I'm definitely willing to respond. None of my videos are quite these super detailed tutorials. They're just kind of more like dabbles and stuff. But if for some reason, if anybody did want me to do like a more in-depth breakdown of how we create assets or what I'm going to do later on, because there'll be a ton of in painting and a ton of After Effects that I'll do in Davinci after this, so it won't look quite like this when I'm done. Each video has gotten better, so go back and check out Propaganda. That's the best one to date by far, and hopefully this one will be even better. But each one's getting a lot better. But thanks again for stopping by, and we'll see you next time.